I have been questioned multiple times on how I manage to interrupt spells at a near instant rate. Players have made accusations about this, and with the recent amount of botters in this game I don't blame them. However, ignoring true proficiency can be quite irritating, so I decided to make a video on how I quickly and effectively manage to lock out players. My predominant class is a Warlock, and our interrupt comes in the form of a specific Warlock pet, respectively named the Fell Hunter. Our tier 5 talents allows us to choose either to enhance this pet using Grimace of Supremacy in order to get an Observer which deals 20% additional damage, or use Grimace of Sacrifice, as the name intends, sacrificing the pet and being able to use some of its ability through the Warlock spell Command Demon. Warlocks have, along with mages, the most powerful interrupts in the game. While they have relatively long cooldowns, it is extremely vital that you ensure, as a Warlock, you do not inadequately use this spell. A Warlock's Spell Lock and Optical Blast counters an enemy spell cast, preventing any spell from that school being cast for 6 seconds. Think about it like this. Imagine throwing away a kidney shot that doesn't have diminishing returns, and you can use it every 30 seconds. That's effectively what an interrupt is. It cannot be emphasized enough. Hence, it is with utmost priority to not waste your interrupts. The same can be said for most classes, however, the more interrupts you manage to inflict, the more pressure your team will deal. That all said and out of the way, it comes down to taking action. Add-ons are one of the greatest additions to World of Warcraft. They enable you to customize your user interface, help with PvP and raid awareness, and also provide aesthetic purposes, and much more. For this video, I'll be primarily focusing on 2 add-ons. First of all, Quartz Cast bars. These can be downloaded from Curse. If you don't know where this is, the link will be down in the description. These are highly customizable cast bars which allow you to modify dimension, position, font, texture, colors, and text position. The way I have it set up is to make sure that the cast bars are very large on the screen for both the enemy target and the focused. Next is to position them in a smart manner. Ensure they are not colliding with any other UI and they're in a clear spot to see. I'd recommend having both the target and focus cast bar in close proximity to where your eyes are primarily focused. Also, it helps to have the target and the focus frame in that same area as well. The next add-on is where the magic happens. Power Aura's Classic is a great add-on for many different tasks. I like to use it as reminders for things such as rebuffing, watching trigger procs, tracking specific spell resources such as Burning Embers, Soul Shards, Maelstrom procs for an enhancement shaman, and much more. Although, over the last few years I've been using it for something else, and it entirely changes the way I interrupt.
Wow!
I have it set up to create an icon on my screen for a specific set of variables. Let's give an example. If I focus a paladin and he's casting Word of Glory, a red circle pops up on my screen. However, I have only set it up so that if he is indeed interruptible, the icon will come up. This means no Aura Mastery, no Divine Shield, or any other Aura Mastery effects. This eliminates the delay of having to look at the cast bar and read what the spell target is casting, and also having to look at the cast bar if it has a shield around it, meaning it has Aura Mastery. When we're discussing split seconds, time adds up fast. A lot of spells, particularly Paladin's Divine Light procs, are less than 1 second, in fact 0.45 seconds for that spell. Furthermore, channeling spells such as Penance and Soothing Mist are usually duked very early, and it is vital to interrupt that spell ASAP. These cast times come close to the human average reaction time, which moves us to the next topic. Looking at humanbenchmark.com, we can test our reaction times. The average human reaction time is 215 milliseconds according to the data collected so far. Personally, I've averaged at around 120 to 140 milliseconds. However, it is not as simple as saying your reaction time on Human Benchmark is the reaction time you have in World of Warcraft. There are a lot of factors that need to be implemented into the equation. On reaction benchmarking software, you're only focusing on the screen when it goes green. You don't have to worry about your damage rotation, dispelling, positioning, and all other aspects in playing World of Warcraft. This will divert your attention, resulting in delays. Next comes the server-side world ping. This can be a huge deal when your opponent has a much smaller latency than you. If both have similar ping, then this should not be a factor. Alongside is the position of your hand on the keyboard and mouse. If, for example, the interrupt button is on the keyboard letter P and your hand origin is around the WADS keys, you have to account for the delay with movement towards the P button. This can be resolved by making your interrupt bind close to the default hand origin. In my case, I utilize the letter R for my focus interrupt. It is also important to have a keyboard with a low force activation. More importantly, a key press activation instead of key release activation. This means your spell activates when you press the key down instead of when you finally let go of the button. You will also have to change this option in WoW as well. I use yet another add-on to fix this. Bartender has the option to change the activation to toggle action on key press instead of key release. For this snippet, I'll provide some information on how to make an icon come up similarly to the one you see in this video after a specific spell is being cast. To open Power Auras, all you have to do is type in /power. To create a new Power Aura, press the new button. Now you will see another panel has opened up and there are a lot of options on it. As you can see, we are provided with a default texture which we can change with this scroll wheel option. Let's go with a simple design and just get a square. We can also change the color. Let's go with a nice bright red. There's also an opacity option, but we'll keep it at 100%. Furthermore, we will change the size to its maximum. To change the position of this object, we can drag and drop it wherever we want, or we can use the alignment tools provided. Now comes the important part. Select where it says buff and change it to spell alert. For the purpose of this video, I'll just use Solwell as the spell cast, instead of using someone else and having to use them in the example. In the first box, just type in the name of the spell. For this video, I'll use Solwell. Now select your options. Ensure you select the interruptible checkbox. This is the main reason this add-on is so helpful. Enabling this will disable the icon during the Aura Mastery and other similar effects for the duration. You can also add other variables such as making the icon only pop up when you're in an arena or battleground. This add-on also provides many animations such as spinning. However, for its purpose, it would be best to just keep it as static. Finally, double check if your variables are correct and exit that window. Now let's test this effect. Now I just focus my character or any character casting Solwell and the icon should pop up. As you can see, it only pops up when the character is actually casting the spell. Let's clear our focus and see if the icon pops up. As you can see, it doesn't. Now it just comes down to practice. Use this tool as much as you can and eventually you'll be able to interrupt pretty fast. Go to humanbenchmarks.com and practice your reaction time. Some say that you can't improve that, but there's always room to improve. Once you've maintained a pretty fast reaction, try and implement things such as listening to loud music in the background or making the page very small. After you've mastered that, implement what you've learned into WoW. Thanks for watching, peace.
Fireball.